I inherited my mom's lakeside cabin, only to find it wrapped in barbed wire by a ruthless HOA president hell-bent on stealing properties for his secret resort empire. He had no clue he just picked a fight with the state governor herself. What would you do when your community tries to rob you blind? I nearly choked on my coffee when I saw it. A woman in a sharp gray suit was nailing a glaring red sign onto our cabin, Mom's cabin, passed down just last month. We hadn't even unpacked her boxes yet. Heart racing, I stormed outside. What the hell are you doing to our property? The woman turned, cold as ice, her badge reading Ms. Carver, HOA Compliance Officer. This cabin violates Lakeview Pines regulations, she snapped, flipping through her clipboard. Wrong roof tiles, unapproved paint, that junky boat's an eyesore, and these weeds? Unacceptable. She gestured at Grandpa's old rowboat, painted cherry red when I was a kid, and Mom's beloved wildflower patch. There's gotta be a mistake, I stammered. This cabin's been here for decades, before your HOA existed. Carver's smile was venomous. Rules are rules. When your mother inherited, she agreed to our standards. She shoved a binder at me, thick as a brick. Fix it in 14 days, or face daily fines. As she strutted to her sleek SUV, I spotted a guy across the street snapping photos of our cabin with a pro-grade camera. My gut screamed, something's off. I called Mom, barely holding it together. You won't believe this. Her voice was weary. She was always swamped as state governor. After I spilled everything, she didn't brush it off. I feared this, she sighed. Lakeview Pines HOA has been bullying folks for years, driving families out with insane fines. They've pushed out 3 neighbors on your street alone. Can they do that? I asked, stunned. Legally, yes, she admitted. When property changes hands, old exemptions vanish. But don't sign anything or pay a cent until I'm there Saturday. I'll make calls. Her tone had an edge I knew meant war. For 3 days, I pored over that binder. Some rules made sense. Mow your lawn, fine. But others? Houses could only be beige or gray. No visible gardens. No cars are parked outside overnight. No bikes or toys in yards. It was like they wanted to erase any sign of life. Friday, while raking leaves, a neighbor, Tom, strolled over with his lab. You're Governor Larson's kid, right? Don't let Carver scare you, she targets newbies. Why? I leaned on my rake, wary. Tom glanced around. Something's fishy. The HOA's been buying up properties, especially lakefront ones like yours. Guess who runs it? Victor Grayson, CEO of Elite Shores Development. Coincidence? Before he could say more, Carver materialized, glaring. Mr. Read your dog's off-leash. Violation 3 this month. Tom's jaw tightened, but he stayed cool. After she left, he whispered, Watch out. She's Grayson's enforcer. They're after your place. That night, I dug through Grandpa's attic files and found the 1960 deed, no HOA mentioned. Then I saw it. Our land linked the lake to the main road, perfect for a big project's entrance. Sleep was impossible. Saturday, 3 HOA goons in matching polos barged in, claiming inspection rights. You can't just walk in, I shouted. They flashed a forged document with Mom's signature, nothing like her real one. Get out, or I'm calling the cops. I recorded them as they scrambled, one muttering. Grayson said this'd be easy. I called Mom, livid. I'm 2 hours out, she said, furious. Photograph everything. If they forged my signature, this is fraud. While waiting, I noticed new survey stakes slicing through our land, forming a path from the road to the lake. Tom handed me a newspaper. Elite Shores announces luxury resort. The rendering showed a sprawling complex where our cabin stood. My blood ran cold. Then I saw it, barbed wire, glinting like a prison fence, wrapped around our entire property. A red sign screamed major violation. I called Mom, shaking. They've lost their minds, barbed wire, like we're cattle. Her voice cracked. That's illegal. Document it. I'm calling our lawyer. Our contractor, Luis, arrived, stunned. I can't work with this, he said, handing me a cease and desist from Grayson himself, threatening $500 daily fines. Carver pulled up, feigning concern. Safety precaution, she cooed. Abandoned properties attract vandals. Abandoned? We were here last weekend, I roared. She smirked. Your renovations were denied. No work until violations are fixed, next month. Fines would hit thousands before then. Tom, watching, slipped me a map from a town meeting. It showed Grayson's resort, with our cabin as the main access road. They're forcing you out, he whispered. The Millers next door sold after $150,000 in fines. That night, I caught 2 men on camera moving our property lines. At dawn, the county clerk confirmed a news survey by the HOA, signed by Grayson as property manager. He wasn't. I drove to the county office, where a clerk whispered, You're not the first. Most sell, it's cheaper than fighting. Back at the cabin, the barbed wire was chained shut, with a trespassing warning. Mom's text came, here tomorrow. Don't sign anything. Too late, they were forging signatures. As night fell, cars circled slowly, watching. You picked the wrong family, I muttered, starting a file on my laptop. Mom wasn't just any owner, she was the governor, and Grayson had no idea the storm was coming. The Lakeview Pines Community Center was packed, tension thick as fog. Neighbors clutched violation packets, whispering furiously. I gripped photos of our barbed-wired cabin, heart pounding. Grayson, slick in a tailored suit, tapped the mic. We're addressing violations tonight, starting with the abandoned 721 Lake Drive. I shot up. Not abandoned. My mom owns it. Carver handed out packets with doctored photos of our cabin, zooming in on chipped paint and our illegal garden. Grayson feigned surprise. The owner ignored 17 notices. You sent them to a fake address. I held up the barbed wire photos. This is how you treat families? The crowd gasped, phones out, filming. Carver snapped. Protective fencing follows bylaws. Hazardous properties must be secured. Hazardous? I laughed bitterly. It's stood 60 years. Grayson leaned in, smug. Unresolved violations allow us to seize abandoned properties. Murmurs grew. A neighbor muttered. They can't do that, can they? The doors slammed open. Mom strode in, governor's seal gleaming. Let's discuss illegal barbed wire, trespassing, and property theft, she said, eyes locked on Grayson. The room froze. Grayson paled, dropping his pen. Madam Governor, we didn't know this was your property. Would it matter? Mom slammed her briefcase down. Your HOA targets homes with fake violations. She revealed a map, every seized property lined up with Grayson's resort plans. The crowd erupted. A man shouted, They took my mom's house over a mailbox. Another yelled, My fence was too tall. Grayson banged his gavel, sweating. Mom pulled out recordings. Mrs. Carver stood, trembling. I have to speak. Grayson hissed. Sit down. She didn't. This USB has Grayson's orders to target homes blocking his resort. He blackmailed me, threatened my house. Neighbors gasped as recordings played Grayson's voice. Take the red cabin next. Once we control the lakefront, regulations won't stop us. Security dragged Grayson out as he screamed. This goes higher than you think. A sheriff entered, probing the HOA fund theft. Mom winked at me. Hope sparked, but Grayson's words chilled me. Who else was involved? 3 days later, rain pounded the cabin. Mom, bleary-eyed, showed me an email. Grayson's company had a history of buying HOAs, rewriting rules, and seizing homes. A knock brought investigator Lisa Torres from the state attorney's office. Grayson's firm bought your HOA 3 years ago, she said, spreading documents. They seized 12 homes with fake violations. Tom burst in, soaked with a map. These seizures aren't random, they're for resort access roads. Lightning flashed, and I saw a shadow outside. A rock crashed through our window, a note tied to it, back off or worse. Torres drew her gun. Mom swept glass, calm but trembling. This is criminal now. Security footage showed Carver throwing the rock. Worse, she'd been sneaking violation notices into neighbors' mailboxes at night. They're targeting everyone in their way, Mom said. Torres got a call. Grayson was filing to condemn 5 properties, claiming storm damage from the rock incident. There's no damage but their own, I protested. Mom stood fierce. Tom, rally the neighbors. Lisa, we need an injunction. As they scrambled, I stared at the shattered window. This wasn't just about our cabin anymore. News vans swarmed the state capitol. Mom's speech today would expose Grayson. Inside the hearing, he sat smug with his lawyers. Judge Harper called order. Mom held our family album. This HOA isn't protecting homes, it's stealing them. She showed maps of seized properties, all for Grayson's resort, threatening protected wetlands. Grayson scoffed. We enforce standards. Mom flashed photos of our barbed wire cabin. Is this standard? Judge Harper frowned. Then Carver stood pale. Grayson ordered us to plant violations. He blackmailed half the board. She played recordings, and Grayson lunged, shouting, You swore silence. Guards restrained him. Neighbors stood, sharing stories. The recording sealed it, Grayson's voice plotting seizures. As he was led out, he yelled, You're messing with bigger forces. Tom showed me a county record. Grayson's partner was Senator James Holt. My jaw dropped. That night, flames lit the sky. Our cabin was burning. Firefighters blocked me. Arson, Chief Lopez said, handing Mom a note. Drop it, or we won't miss. Tom saved Grandpa's photo box. Mom faced cameras. They tried to silence us, but this cabin is proof of their crimes. The story went viral. By morning, Holt was arrested, linked to a statewide HOA scam. Neighbors rebuilt our cabin, and Carver, redeeming herself, organized volunteers. The state seized Grayson's assets, compensating victims. The HOA dissolved, replaced by a neighbor-led group with no fees or seizures. At our cabin warming party, laughter filled the air. Tom proposed the Lakeview Protection Act to curb predatory HOAs. Mom and I sat by the lake, otters playing nearby. We built this, she said. The cabin, half old, half new, stood stronger. Fireflies glowed, and neighbors shared stories by a fire pit, no rules dividing us. Our fight wasn't just about one cabin, it rebuilt a community. What do you think? Could you stand up to a corrupt system? Share your thoughts below, and let's debate. Where's the line between community rules and outright theft? Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep this story alive.